Welcome back, Mankato Moondog fans, to another episode of Off the Leash. Today I'm here with Mankato Moondog pitcher Grant Garza from Tarleton State University. Grant, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Let's get into you a little bit. You throw a lot out of the bullpen for Mankato, 15 games. Last night you threw 4 innings. But I know you haven't necessarily been a reliever your entire career. You've been a reliever mostly at Tarleton and obviously here, but kind of what is are you a guy who'll do both? You only want to be a reliever? What's kind of your spot?
I mean, I've kind of done it all. My freshman year at Johnson County, I started out of the pen the first 23 innings there, and then I threw 2 as a starter and kind of hit a pitch count there. And then my second year, I started out of the bullpen, long relief, and then closed the next weekend. And then the weekend after that went to the bullpen, or went to starting and started the rest of the season. And fell in love with starting. Wanted to start last year, but found it back in the bullpen, and I loved being in the bullpen. I did have 1 start last year, and found my way back to the bullpen again. So, but I love it out in the bullpen. It's kind of just stay engaged every game, and it's always interesting.
Yeah, so kind of detail your college career because you've now been to a couple of schools, now at Tarleton, but before, obviously, you mentioned Johnson County.
Right, so my right out of high school, I graduated in 2019, right before COVID. So I started out at TCS Postgrad. It's out of McKinney, Texas. It's a postgrad program, so it's only 1 year, and with Logan Harrington as the owner and Jason Braddock was the head coach. He's the assistant coach. He's the head coach now. It's a great program. Kind of had a good fall there. Really learned what it was like college baseball because hadn't had any experience yet. And it's a lot of guys were freshmen. We had a couple of guys bounce backs from other schools that came and joined us. And then right before COVID hit, I committed to Johnson County in Kansas through scouting video. And
pretty unique.
Yeah, they do scouting videos on YouTube, and they send it out to many different schools. They've had a lot of different alumni everywhere. Went to Johnson County Community College. Was there for 2 years, and with help of Coach Yeager, he helped me get to Tarleton State, and I've been there last year. I'm planning on going back this year. Well,
you're a Texas guy through and through. I know we've had a couple of conversations about this, but kind of detail where you grew up.
I grew up in Houston, South Houston. You mentioned on the broadcast that a lot of different alumni.
Yeah.
A lot of famous people. I'm definitely not anywhere near one of the big people that went to the school, like Matt Carpenter, James Loney, or some of the big baseball players. Tristan Gray's in the Tampa Bay Rays system, AAA, and then just some other guys that got drafted throughout the years. They've been really good since the 90s. So that's been pretty cool. And then your favorite, Travis Scott.
Yeah,
I like to mention.
Travis Scott. No, so you mentioned south of Houston. This has got to be a kind of a completely different environment from Texas to Minnesota.
More just the weather.
Yeah.
The people here are super nice, so that's been really fun. Made a lot of good friends out here. But it's just the weather is different. I mean, it's nice today.
Yeah.
Usually in Houston it's been really hot every day. My mom loves to tell me how hot it is there, and I like to tell her that it's 75, 78
yeah.
here.
It's nice and cool. So have you been a baseball player only your whole life, or did you grow up playing other sports?
I started playing t-ball about 5. My best friend's mom was our t-ball coach. She actually came to Mankato and watched
that's
me
awesome.
play, so that was fun. But started playing baseball. My dad obviously played other sports growing up. I know a lot of people up in the north pick up like basketball. I played basketball every little bit. Played a lot of golf growing up. I think my dad would have wanted me to play a little bit of more golf. But I love baseball and kept playing baseball. And I'm here now.
Yeah. So you're at Tarleton State now, and like I mentioned, you're mostly out of the bullpen. Being at Tarleton, obviously, you went from junior college at Johnson County in Kansas. You moved on to Tarleton. What has been the biggest difference for you between junior college baseball and Division I baseball?
Definitely baseball, through the game, it's definitely the hitters. Junior college, just trying to fade. You can definitely command 2 pitches and be successful, but having the third pitch at both levels has been trying to develop a third pitch has been something I've been trying to do. especially here this summer.
Yeah, and you played with now former Moondog Reese also, but now Breck Bradshaw is here as well.
Right.
How has it been a lot easier just having 2 Tarleton State teammates come up here with you?
Yeah, they're good guys. So it's fun coming up here with somebody I knew. But I made quick friends. The guys that were here in the first half, and guys that came in the second half, and the guys who've been here all summer. We're all really good friends, and it's been an awesome experience out here. I hadn't played summer ball before.
Yeah.
Being through a whole summer, I was in the Sunflower last year for about a week.
This is a whole different dynamic, isn't
yeah,
it? Playing every day.
Very.
Yeah. So you, like you mentioned, you played in the Sunflower, but growing up and playing baseball in Texas, it's got to be just a completely different dynamic, isn't it? I know they say everything's bigger in Texas.
Right. So playing, it's year round. I mean, obviously here I played in Kansas, so I know like about a month or two you're not outside.
Yeah.
You get lucky every once in a while, but Texas, you can play every weekend of just about however cold you want it to be.
Yeah.
It gets cold every once in a while, but I've had an 80-degree Christmas before. It's kind of wild. But it's definitely a year-round thing.
Yeah.
So
And coming to Mankato, obviously you're like I mentioned, you're out of the bullpen. Has there been a specific place in the Northwoods League or memory that you think of when you think of Mankato? In 5 years.
Just being up here. I like to think I have kind of a good memory when it comes to stuff like this. Like, it's been a great time, so I feel like I'll remember a lot of stuff from up here. It's been awesome. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of stories from all over the place.
Yeah, and you have some teammates within the league too. Can you talk a little bit about them?
Yeah, I have some teammates up in St. Cloud. Had 3 pitchers go up to St. Cloud. They're pretty good buddies of mine. I lived with 2 of them this year, Pearson McElroy and Hunter Day. They played here last year also. So, I've enjoyed seeing them every once in a while, and I'll actually see Pearson tomorrow and Tuesday at the game. Yeah,
that's awesome. All-Star game. Let's talk about that. So you're a Great Plains All-Star, and you're one of now 9 Mankato Moondogs that are going to the All-Star game. Has it been it's got to be easy. Like, I shouldn't say easy, but it's got to be a lot easier to thrive in an environment with so many good players around you.
Right. This is actually a really good team. A lot of good talent, a lot of good players. And it's not even just like the guys from big schools, also guys from like smaller schools that you might have never even heard of that are just coming in and you're like, wow, like they're awesome. Good players. Everyone here is trying to win, and everyone here is here to compete.
Yeah, I've noticed you've picked up a trend. I don't know if this was a trend coming in, but you like to walk around barefoot before games. I've noticed that. Where did that come from?
So 2 summers ago, my pitching coach, Derek Gordon, he from out of Kansas City, he really liked us throwing barefoot, and I felt like I pushed off the ground a lot better. So I kind of just like walking around barefoot anywhere I can. Bismarck. I walked around a little bit in Minot. It's turf out there. St. Cloud, really nice grass. So a lot of places out there, and Wilmer a little bit.
Yeah, I had noticed that, and I figured I would mention that. Before I let you go, this has kind of been a typical question we ask, but what's your favorite pregame meal?
Pregame meal?
Yeah.
Oh man,
You guys like to switch it up?
Well, usually I bring the same thing every day. I make ground beef, rice,
simple,
or like chicken, rice, and then like a burrito bowl. I usually do that pregame, kind of save money, but also it's really good, and it keeps me full throughout the game, and so I can go in. I like drink my bang in the bullpen.
Yeah.
But if I have to go somewhere, I really like Slim Chickens.
Chickens.
The grilled chicken tenders from Slim Chickens are really good.
All right, yeah, I'm a big fan of Slim Chickens. Do you have a specific sauce you get there?
The Cayenne Ranch.
Cayenne Ranch.
The Cayenne Ranch.
My God, yes. Cayenne Ranch. Well, thank you, Grant, for joining the Off the Leash podcast today. Grant Garza, relief pitcher from Tarleton State. Before you go, last thing, I promise. Right. Do you have a pregame ritual outside of the barefoot?
Pregame ritual. I'm a little bit of a weird guy. I got my own things. Everyone makes fun of my socks. I got a couple holes in my socks. Everyone makes fun of me about that.
Yeah.
But I usually do this about the same thing every day. It's same stretches.
Yeah.
Just keep it pretty routine. One thing that everyone kind of makes fun of me about is right before I go in to pitch is I drink half my bang before I go throw, and then I'll drink the other half right before I go in.
Okay.
And I'll hit it on my head and I'll throw it against the wall, and everyone in the bullpen goes crazy, and they love it. There's a couple videos out there that they love.
Yeah.
The guys love it.
That's awesome. Well, Grant Garza, thank you for joining the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
It's an off-leash podcast, Grant. We wish you luck the rest of the way, and good luck, obviously, in Bismarck in the All-Star game in a couple weeks. Or a couple days.